Good evening, folks. Hope everybody is well. I wasn't really going to do an update on this case here unless some serious developments happened. And I wasn't going to bother because a few sites have already done it. And I thought, people have seen it. But for my own followers, they may not have seen the sites that are putting it out. So for the benefit of people who haven't seen it, I'm putting it on. And what it is I put up the news report about Wildred Wong the other day. Well, there's been a development in case people haven't heard. I'll just read the headline out. Man charged in connection with alleged Anglesey child kidnapping dies in prison. Yes, you heard it right. One of the accused has died in prison. I'll read out the article. A man who had been charged in connection with an alleged kidnapping in Anglesey has died in prison. Robert Frith, 65, of Tyne Park, Holyhead, was found dead at HM Berwyn in Wrexham on Saturday. So it was only a couple of days after they'd been arrested, wasn't it? The former psychiatric nurse had been remanded in custody ahead of a plea and trial preparation hearing in relation to the alleged kidnapping of a child in Gerwin. A prison service spokesman said HMP Berwyn prisoner Robert Frith died in custody on 14th of November. The Prisons and Probation Ombudsman have been informed. He appeared at Llandudno Magistrates Court alongside 5 other defendants in November the 9th, accused of kidnapping a child under 10 on November the 4th. He was due to appear again before Carnarvon Crown Court on December the 7th. The other defendants in the case are Jane Claire Going, Edward Stevenson, Janet Stevenson, and Wildred Wong. It gives their addresses, even the name of the road. I don't want to read them out. I don't think they should be giving those. Normally they'd say, Marie Cayley, West Kensington, for example, or something like that. But they've actually put the name of the roads in this one. So there's no more news at the moment. Don't know if it was foul play by another prisoner or if it was natural causes. Now, I did say to my brother the other day, 65 years old, are these people taking the pill? Are they having a laugh? They'll probably die from fright or something. I actually said that. They can't be doing things like this. And I was actually thinking along those lines. And when I did a little video on the report, I just knew in the back of my mind this was going to get bigger. So I thought I'm going to upload this and see what happens, because something's going to happen for sure. And I think I was right. I'm sorry to hear about the death. This family must be very upset in view of the circumstances around it. We don't know the details at the moment of the crime either. Just sad news all around, isn't it, really? You don't want anyone to come to harm till at least you know the truth. And I was going to say innocent of proven guilty, but they were found at the scene. The police did question them for several hours before they were charged. So obviously the police are not taking their baloney or their excuses or whatever they said. The police are not having any of it and charged them anyway. So they didn't believe their feeble excuses or whatever they said, rescue charge, whatever. They must have told the police what was going on. But there's a few things curious, I find. Police said it was early intervention, didn't they? That's why they were able to pick them up so quick. Yeah. So were they working with the father or the other one parent? I don't know. Working with somebody, and they let them go ahead and do the kidnapping maybe so they could catch them. Because it seems they didn't know about it, and were able to follow the car and pick up the car. and had the registrations, the fake plate numbers. They must have had the registrations to be able to surround the car and stop the car like that. They must have known which car it was. Was that pre-given to them? Again, we don't know. So I just thought I'd report on that. It is a serious development in a very serious case. So what more can you say? Problem we've got now, though, is now that something like this has happened, it sort of verifies in a lot of people's mind that there's definitely something untoward going on, some evil hand doing something. We all know coincidence happens. Sometimes they just happen at these kind of times. It is creepy sometimes when a coincidence happens, and some people say there's no such thing as coincidence, but sometimes there are very convenient coincidences that it does make you wonder. But we don't know about the person. He could have had an underlying heart problem. What they did, if we're to believe the way it went down, and as I was saying the other night, it's shocking to a person. So I had, when my daughter died, we had helicopter police all over the place, loads of them, and it was horrible. It's still in my mind today. It gave me PTSD even now when I hear sirens. So when you see something like that, it does make an impact and really takes it out of you. It's a shock and a half. So that's what I'm saying, regardless whether they think we're acting in the right or the wrong, that would affect that child very badly. Now probably affecting the adults as well. Because it's no joke when you're being surrounded by armed police, I can tell you that much. It's never happened to me before, but I've seen it happen in my building once. There's a case of mistaken identity. The police surrounded one of my neighbours in his car and shot him a few times. It was that Mini years ago. Guy in a Mini that looked like somebody else. That was on my doorstep. We had blood on our doorstep weeks after. That was right there outside my door in the front of the building. So you don't get over it. So maybe the shock was too much for him. I mean, he's 65, not young. So, but until we're waiting here. So I can see people flying with this now, and verifies everything for them, doesn't it? So regardless of what truth's going to come out, it's going to be a cover-up of some sort. It's going to be always accused of a cover-up. There's never going to be any truth in this case. It's going to be always argued about, like so many before. And even when you do get the truth, and it is just as it is, they did what they did, the person died, natural causes, no one will ever believe it. That's a sad thing. So is it worth getting to the truth anymore? Nobody believes it. They'd rather believe all the hype and everything else. Sad, really. Also found another report in the paper by the local police in Anglesey, looking for witnesses outside of Tesco's between a certain time, 10 to 3 and 10 past 4, something like that. I'll put the link for the paper report on that as well. But they're appealing for witnesses who say they saw the car around there taking the child. So they're appealing for witnesses for that at certain Tesco points and certain points in the road. So I'll add the link for that paper as well, so it's just a little bit of extra information there. Just catching up on a couple of the Wildred Wong interviews just to see what he's about. Oh my god. I said some of these people are just lost in their own obsession and off the scale, and there's no hope. He's one of them, in my opinion. One of the things he was saying going into the COVID virus, he seems to think that the government are going to use this to blackmail us into either become a Satanist or you're not getting the vaccine. So this is in his head, this is what he thinks is going to happen, that the government are going to blackmail everybody into becoming a Satanist or you don't get the vaccine. Suits me, I don't want the vaccine. Now, there seems to be some question again about his working as a barrister, qualifying. It seems that he hasn't ever worked as a barrister. If you add in the years he's worked at the place, the charities, and when he left after his degree, did he even finish the degree? But when he's in his interviews, he just say, yes, I'm an ex-barrister, I worked as a barrister. So somebody should say, well, what year was that? And when did you qualify? And how long did you work as a barrister? You know, somebody should ask those kind of questions, but no one ever does. And I think a couple of questions could reveal a lot. He'd either say, well, I haven't really worked as a barrister. Well, then stop saying it then. I worked in a bar years ago for a week. I don't call myself a barmaid. That was about 30 years ago. I was helping a friend out. It was great. I don't call myself a barmaid. So thanks for watching. If I come across anything else that I feel is worth knowing, I'll do a quick video. So have a great day. It's a bit raining, but hey, it's winter. What we're going to do? We got this till April or May. Just think about that. Oh my God, the thought of it. I'm going to have to get away in January somewhere. Okay, bye for now. Have a good day, everybody. Be safe. P.S. I found the report here for the appeal for witnesses to the child kidnapping. I thought I'd just read it out at the end. It has appeal for witnesses in Gerwen and Bangor, Tesco areas in connection with knife point abduction of child. Headloo Police. Officers investigating the child abduction on Anglesey on Wednesday afternoon are appealing for witnesses to come forward. They are particularly keen on speaking to anyone who is in the area of Caiglas, Gerwen, between 3:45 p.m. and 4 p.m. on Wednesday, the 4th of November, and also to anybody who may have been on Saeter Lane, these are all Welsh names, hard to pronounce, at the rear of Tesco in Bangor between 3:50 and 4:10 on the same day. Detective Inspector Chris Bell of North Wales Police said, thankfully the child was recovered safe and well by our colleagues in Northamptonshire after excellent early investigative work by the North Wales colleagues. This is a fast-moving investigation. We are appealing to anyone who witnessed a silver Citroen Picasso with the false number plates, blah, 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 around these areas. Please come forward. We are also keen speaking to anybody who may have seen a silver Ford Galaxy with the registration, blah, 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 in Saeter Lane area. Anybody who was in either area or around the same time who may have dashcam footage, private CCTV is also urged to get in touch. We can confirm that the 6 adults who are arrested all remain in police custody at this time, and we would like to reiterate that this was an isolated incident and not a stranger attack. Anybody who can assist with the ongoing investigation is asked to contact officers in North Wales Police, quoting the incident number 20000670162. So it says there again, early intervention, doesn't it? They were able to get the child safe and well, but it was 230 miles away as well. So wasn't that soon? Wasn't that early? Okay, I just thought I'd add that bit in. Thanks. So I've put the link there, so if anyone can help, the registration numbers are there. If you're in that area, passing that area, and you did see something, all the details are in the link to get in touch with the police or whatever. You know, I think it's time to start looking into some of these charity organisations. And I don't mean just looking at the company's house, I mean going deep into their records and requesting copies of the records from charities, commissions, whoever has their books. I'm going to start looking into that. I used to work for charity for 8 years. I've got a lot of experience with charities. They're a very rich charity, and all the things they get up to, and I know what they're about. So I was thinking of looking at one. They're advertising on TV at the moment. I happen to know they're the richest charity in Europe. They've got so much money and they don't do anything with it. It's Guide Dogs for the Blind. They have so much money in just sitting in their account, and they train a couple of dogs a year, not very many. It wasn't very many when I looked into them last time, so I was going to request their accounts and do a little bit of checking, go over things, and you can see where the money is and what they're spending the money on. I did do the RSPCA once. I might re-upload that. That was on my old channel. I got their accounts, and most of their money goes in lawyer fees, believe it or not, court fees from suing people. That's all they do all day, sue people, not helping any animals. You know, it's ridiculous, these charities, and getting away with it. So I was going to do a couple of those that are on top of my head. And I think Wildred Wong's charities that he stands for will be worth looking into as well. So I may do something on those. About, you know, we're locked down now, nothing to do, so it may give me something to do. I'm decorating at the moment as well. Oh, I'm sorry I started because this house is so big and the ceilings are really high. I didn't realise I'd be so high up the ladder. But it's I finished the dining room. Well, we've got one little wall to wallpaper. I'm doing that today, and then I'm finished. I finished all the painting and all the skirtings and all the paintwork and ceilings and all that. But it looks really good. But it's taken me 2 weeks. But I'm one to take my time. I don't kill myself, and I'm very tidy and very clean. I don't leave mess anywhere, so I'm cleaning as I go along, so it doesn't look like anybody's even working. So because I'm in the dining room, so you know, my brother's walking in all day long because he's at the fridge 24/7. So I'm moving furniture around, hallways blocked. Oh gosh, ladders everywhere. But I tend to tidy up every time I finish, put all the brushes away, put everything away, and then start again in the morning, so it doesn't look too bad. But it looks really good, actually. I'm proud of it. And my brother's friends keep coming around and they keep going, oh, yeah, it looks quite good, actually. They don't want to give me any credit because none of them can decorate. They have to call people in. Even my brother, who's afraid of heights, he won't go up a ladder. So they're all sort of going, yeah, it's a little bit there. But I'm a perfectionist. I'm terrible. That's why I take my time. I give myself a little, I do one wall first. And I say, right, I'll do this today, I'll do that tomorrow. It's going to take me 3 hours to do that. And I time myself, and I try to stick to a little timetable in my head. So I don't notice how big the task is, because I do it in little bite-sized chunks. So I do that. That's a little way of organising my brain. My big brain that has so much in it, I need to organise things into little sections or I don't know where I am. But that's what I've been doing. So that's what I'm thinking of doing with the charities, just as a heads up if anyone thinks that's a good idea or they suspect a charity that may need looking into, give us a shout. And if they're big enough and they've got a lot of money involved and they're conning a lot of people, vulnerable people, let's have a look. We should look into them. And I know how to do it, so I'm going to start doing that. You know, when there's a public limited company, you can request copies of their accounts going back years, you know, their end of year accounts, and you can see all the totals of what they're doing. So you have to pay, I suppose, you know, a fee for these admin fees. This is the thing, but I don't mind doing that. It's going to be good because they're well worth reading. You can see every penny they're spending, where it's going, and I'd spot things that look abnormal. I'm terrible for adding PSs. Okay, this is it, finally. Bye for now. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day, everybody.